Alright guys, welcome back to the part 2 of the custom scripting. Here I want to quickly do something. First thing is I want to have the property types displayed here, and at the same time I want to add the several other property types. To add the property types here, you click on the menu, edit doc types, go straight down to property type, check on in list view and in standard filter and save. Go back to the property type list. The standard filter will add another field here or a form field here such that you can search with the custom field property type name, and the property type will also show here. To do that, we can reload, sorry, from the settings, reload the page. Okay, fully reloaded now. We can see we have property types showing up here. Here you can filter by property. See that? I'll get rid of this. And on this side, you see the property type also showing here. I've added two or three extra other doc types called property types. I mean condo, I'm sorry, duplex, and one other. We can view what I added. I added a block, bungalow, and duplex to the property types. You can also add it to it. Okay, why I added this is to be able to filter out properties based on the type. First, I'll use this property for as an instance. I change the value from the property types to condo. I want to have a button here so that when I click it, it will list the properties whose type is condo or any other one. I'll go straight to the codes. Under this property, form UI form, under the property, we already have some custom button I commented out earlier. First, I'm going to comment this on comment, then add, make it a group, call it actions, then add another button here, say hi. The next one will be check property types. The form dot add custom button. The name is check property types. Second value here is the function. Showing here be a form the doc the property underscore type. Okay, on clicking it, I want the property type to be locked. Save. This is the first thing I'm gonna do. I added a custom button called property type. Then a function pass the form to it, pulled the property type from the former, made it a variable, and print the variable once this button is clicked. Next thing is to add it to a button group called actions. And for the name, I'll save this, go back to my browser and reload. The page has fully reloaded. You see this button here, custom action buttons. You see the first one is say hi, the second one is check property. Clear this browser console. I hope you can see this very well. I'll click on this Address hello. Okay, this is the pro say hi button. Address field updated with hello. Okay, we did this earlier. And this other button, check property types. And when clicked, it says cannot read property doc of undefined at level, blah 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 blah. You can check that to know why it said doc undefined. We pass the form doc. Okay, let's see why it said cannot read the type of CUR underscore form dot doc. Doc is there. We'll have to check properly to know what the problem is. This first one ended here. The second one ended here. Well, I could still universally access this form without having to pass it in here. We form FRM the doc the property type. Control save. Go back and reload. Okay, the reload is complete. I'll go back to my button, click on check property and condo. This is the property type which was printed there. Condo was successfully printed. What we did, we added the custom button, we pulled out the property type, saved it in this variable, printed the property type. But what I want to do is whenever I click this check property types, I want it to go to the system, the database, check for all the properties whose type is condo, then tell us, just say to us, these are the properties whose type is condo. And to do that, we'll use what we call API. We use the API keys. In JavaScript, you have what we call jQuery API requests. We have fetch or AJAX, yes, AJAX requests. AJAX requests. From W3 schools, you can see what something like shttp.open or jQuery Ajax. You can use jQuery Ajax as well. But Frappe has its own Ajax requests called frappe.core. You can search from the official documentation. Frappe Ajax core. Frappe Ajax core. This is a tool. We have it as frappe.core. Then in between, you have arguments you can pass. And after the argument, you also have to write a function or a method that can be called, that should be called in the system. First thing I want to do is check to see how I can obtain the properties. To check how I can obtain the properties whose property type is condo. Go back to your database, bench MariaDB. First thing I want to do is select name proper property type from tab property. Where property type is equal to condo. Okay, we have just one. And when you say flat, have about two flats. Okay, this is a query that we will use. The first thing to do is write a function that will do this. I want this function to be in this doc type, in my doc type. Although sometimes when you write an API outside here, you can write an API outside. You can write a file here called API to retrieve it. You can call it API call. Or you can write it directly inside the doc type. But first, I'm going to write it directly inside this doc type so as to know where each of your doc type API call is. Call it doc type property, new file in the property, call it api.py. First thing to do here is import Frappe. Okay. Next thing is to define a function. I call it check property types. Then get an argument. I'll call it property type. Then return frappe.db.sql 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Be sure you have this as 3 double quotes opening and 3 double quotes closing. F. Then I can copy and paste the code I used earlier. Select property type. Then return this as objects. More like Python dictionary. That's why we have it as underscore dict equals to true. And that's all. But if you want to call APIs from external, from outside of the system, or whichever you want to call it, you have to add a kind of a decorator that makes the system knows that, okay, I'm calling this API, but I don't know how secure or who is going to call this API. With that, you have to add something called at frappe.whitelist. This will permit an external call to this API. But first, I'll comment this out so you see what happens when you call it without this frappe.whitelist. Once you're done with the API file, go to your property.js to make the call. When you refresh, I'm going to make my call in here, make Ajax call. Okay, this Ajax call can be made in several ways. First, the first thing to do is reference the documentation for API calls. Can reference it this way, and there's another way to reference it from check this page, Python REST API. Click on this REST API or open a new tab. Go straight down. You can see this, your URL /API/methods/ dotted path to your function. And what is the dotted path to our function? The dotted path to our function is estate app dot doc type dot property dot API dot check property type. That is our dotted pipe, the dotted type path to our function. And there's another method without this is if you are using the default JavaScript API, you use it this way, API/method. But if you are using the frappe.core, this other documentation, you do not need the /API/wherever/wherever/wherever. Let us test the first to see how it works. /API/method/ have estate underscore app dot property dot API estate underscore app dot property dot doc type dot API dot check property types and run this. Also check your terminal console if there will be an error. Okay, here it says module not found, no module named estate app dot property. Except I did not type it well. Estate app dot my bad. It should be estate app dot estate app. Okay, have a go again. Control C. You also see it here. This is a log. Estate app dot estate app. That is the app dot the module dot doc type. The app dot module dot doc type. The app dot the module dot doc type dot the doc type name dot API. Okay, should be this way. Okay, perfect. This works, but why you see this page isn't working? Empty response, error, empty response is because one, you see it? Permission not permitted. That is why I told you that you have to add this decorator here called at frappe dot whitelist. Should be a whitelisted method. Once you add this, the only error to be getting, it will say something like this was not found. I can say this equals to none, equals to none. Can have a try at that again. Reload. Beautiful. It returns no message because first, we cannot call API directly from the browser URL here. Return this empty message. If I wanted to return something, I could just say, get rid of this. Type flat here, flat, and reload. Okay, no change. Stop your browser, start it again, and test. Okay, we can reload once more. Beautiful. You can see what it returned. You have two properties with type flat. The name 002, 003. You can quickly check that from the property list. Oh, that's taking too long. Okay, 002 is flat, 003 is what? Flat. And that is what we got as return value. Property type flat, property type flat. Okay, what more can we do? We can go back to the code as it's supposed to be, property type. Then in our JS file, we'll add the API call. How do we add the API call? You go to the documentation. I'll grab this. That is from this page, frappe.doc/user/en/guide/basics/frappe AJAX core. I'll copy this one, paste it directly under this place. Then get rid of this completely and replace it with our URL. Sorry, our method. The app name, the module name, doc type name, the API, and the function. Then one more thing is arguments, args. Add it as a key or object. Property type is what? This property type. And whatever I get as response, I want it printed. Okay, I added the frappe.call method, meaning when you click this button, we pull out the property type, save it in a variable, then use the method call this function, check property type from the app name, the module name, the doc type name, the API, and the function. Then pass the property type, which we grabbed. Then whatever is returned, I want it printed to the browser console. Go here, reload. Okay, there's a little error. That is why this page did not reload properly. On reload, you can see it did not show what it should. We go back to check what the issue is. Check the codes to be sure it's okay. The issue here is that there was no comma after this argument. You should add your comma. You can see when the comma was added, this cover color changed to red. You save and reload the page. Okay, the page has fully reloaded now with no errors. You can click on this, click on check property, and we have a result down here at the bottom. I'll clear this, then click on this button again, action, check property, and we have a result, array of 1, expand the results, click on the message, and we have something here. The name is 004 and the property type is itself, which you see it is this property that has such results. We can also check another property to be sure our code is working well. We are not done yet. Go back to the property list. I'll click on 003. We have the property type as flat. Let's see what we get. Check property and return to, and what did it return? The first, okay, I'm going to drag this out. Have the 002 and 003 of type flat, flat, flat. You can see how the custom script works. But I want it to display. The user of the system will not know what is going on. They wouldn't care about this console to check for result. They want it displayed on this interface. To do that, we can use the, what's it called? The Frappe dialog. Okay, not the dialog. We can use the, yeah, the dialog, this Frappe.prompt. Frappe.prompt. We have used this earlier, not prompt, Frappe.message print. We used this earlier. Can use this. The first thing I want to do is check. I'll say let data is assigned r.message. R.message, the value is returned to us as a message object. You can see it, the R, we printed the R and we got message, and message has this content arrays. We have r.message. Or we can say if r.message dot length is greater than 0, then you can say let html also this. Then we can say first thing I'm going to say is h3 or h3 below properties has has is of type this. Okay, the body, close it, slash h3, then body is assigned. Now we can say r dot message dot for each. Say d, then d, let content is assigned. P, paragraph, name, d dot name. Then you can visit the property as well by saying slash a href slash a, the visits. Then in here I will have can grab this. Okay, I want it for each of them will have a paragraph. And each of the paragraph will have the name of the property and a link to visit that property. Then body is assigned body plus content. That should be all. And at the end of it all, we're going to have this completely. Call this, drop it under this for loop. Okay, that's all. I'm done for the now. Save. Reload the page. Okay, our page is done reloading. We can check if there's any error, we will debug. Okay, no error whatsoever. And we have a message here that says below properties is of type flat. We have the first one, 002 and 003, which we are on. Then a link to visit each of the property. Drop your mouse on this link and look at the bottom left somewhere here of the screen. You can see the link to it. I can right click on it and open it on new page to see if the link is correct. Yeah, there's an issue. There's an issue. I entered that link wrongly, so that would not open. I'm going to close that, correct my codes. This here should be d.name, not .type. Save that, reload once more. Okay, the page is on reloading. I can try that once more. Click on check property types. Have my property listed. Click on this first one or the second one. I hope I saved. I don't know if I saved my code properly. I'll try that and how good this looks. Still not working. Something must be wrong. Let's check to see what the problem is. Oh, I typed in name d.name. This d is what I passed in from each of the items in for each d.name. Test that once more after reloading and click. We have this highlight. You see that is correct now at the bottom. You can open this, see how correct it is. And beautiful. This led us to the page. Property 002 and is of what? Type flat. I think this should show you enough on how to work with Ajax core and button. It's not just the button, you can also attach this to any property in this place such that whenever you make any change, the change will be recognized and proved of. I think the next thing we should work on here is copying. You can copy something from here. Can copy something from here to this chart table at the bottom. Yeah, that should be the first thing. Okay, I believe we'll do that in the next part of this lecture. So thanks for watching and see you in the next part. Please share, like, and subscribe.